And now, here's the breakdown with Justin Hunte.
Justin Hunt, what up, though?
Jude, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Man, you were pitching all the show, all these fucking story ideas. I'm like, yeah, and you're like, oh, by the way, my homeboy's coming by.
Yeah. Look how things work out.
And he's more interesting than anything we was finna talk about.
I think so too.
That's crazy. Let's introduce him and bring him on in a second. I'll catch up with you while we're figuring out the. Can you get him a chair or some shit, John? Yeah, sure.
That's what's up, man. Look how things work out.
So this is your homeboy.
Yeah, this is the incomparable Mathew Markoff, M80.
And
he's been working.
Tell me why M80 is important. Well, tell. I already know, but tell the people.
M80 is doing something unexpected. So last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago now, Wu-Tang sold a project to Martin Shkreli. It was the $1 million Wu-Tang project that no one had heard before, Once Upon a Time in the Shaolin.
Yeah.
It was created by RZA and Silver Rings. Reportedly, they're the only two that heard the finished product until Martin Shkreli. Martin Shkreli became one of the worst people in the world in the weeks after the acquisition. And he has since been found guilty on fraud charges. He's currently in jail as he waits his prison sentencing, and unexpectedly put the Wu-Tang project back on the market.
He probably needs some money for lawyers and shit like that. Is that kind of how it goes?
It feels that way. I mean, he would never say that. Shkreli would never say that. Right. Nevertheless, he's selling the project again. The project is on the market, I believe, for $1 million, which is about $1 million less than what the original sale price was. And M80, Mathew Markoff, is working to acquire that project. So I believe you're, down to the last two? Is that last two of you guys? Or where do you guys stand?
It could be as many as 5, but before Martin had been incarcerated, we talked every day for about 5, 6, 7 days in a row. And I was the only one of these, say, 5 people that had submitted an actual formal offer sheet.
Okay.
Here's my range that I'm willing to pay for the record. I want to be able to evaluate the tangibles, the intangibles, see your previous contract, and
I got so many questions. First off,
sure.
Didn't this start off on eBay? Was this like an eBay auction?
Yeah, he launched it on eBay, and that's what got all the press talking.
Okay.
I had his phone number from when it was leaked to the public, when they're like, this guy's so bad, here's his address, here's his phone number. Lock that in, and sure enough, it's actually still his number.
Right.
So I was like, look, man, the eBay shit's going to be fraudulent. You're going to have people that are going to bid it up to like $87 million. And he's like, yeah, that's a good point. So he actually took my advice and went and set parameters to where he had to approve the people that were able to bid on the record.
Okay.
But I'm like, I'm serious about buying it. So you tell me what you need from me. Everything he asked for, I submitted to him. And then it's like the day that he got arrested, I'm writing him 2 or 3 times, not hearing back from him. Then friends start sending me links like, hey, he's arrested. Hopefully this doesn't,
What was that process like?
What
was the process like dealing with Shkreli? How did you find him as a person?
All text and emails. Never picked up the phone for me.
Not once.
So you don't, as much as I like to feel like I appeal to like the humanistic side of them,
right?
You never know when you're talking to
it's
someone.
It's $1 million deal, and it's $1 million
Yeah.
deal. You guys are going to speak the same language in the same country, and you can't get them on the fucking phone.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Well, I guess that speaks volumes.
Right.
I think the timing's interesting too, because Shkreli did go back to jail after he threatened Hillary Clinton. So
yes.
Right now, I'm not sure what his phone access, how consistent his access is.
His voicemail box is full.
So where is it at with you now?
I had written his criminal defense attorney.
Okay.
And the criminal defense attorney referred me to the intellectual property attorneys and like his hedge fund broker, I don't know, some guy. And at first they're writing me like, yes, the eBay auction ended. Now I was the second highest bidder on that auction, just to let him know like I'm serious. If it goes over $1 million, I'm still in it. I
have the emails and stuff if you want to reference them.
So they wrote me back like, look, even though the auction's over, it's still available for sale. So cool. What else? What do you need from me that Martin didn't already have? They're like, we'll just resubmit everything you sent him. I did that. Told him if they need to see screenshots, from our text conversation, sure. I sent everything to Shkreli on September 7th. Sent everything to these attorneys. I think like the 13th or 14th.
It's now the
and now
26th.
10 days later, plus nothing. I wrote him 3 times today. Called 4 times this morning.
Who deals with who? You were saying you need to figure out the tangibles and intangibles and the paperwork. What does that mean? I wouldn't even know.
Martin had wrote on the eBay auction that the tangibles, meaning like the CDs, the 4 boxes that come with the project, the book, there's damage. So of course it's like, I don't care if you spent $2 million and I'm willing to spend $1 million. I might want to give you $700K if the $250,000 box is broken.
So
like
what?
that.
Can you tell me what exactly is in the package? Because I don't
There's
even know
supposed to be
what.
a giant.
Okay.
Like it looks like it's silver and diamond plated and maybe
All right.
onyx. It just looks beautiful, like a nice jewelry piece. This is what RZA considered the art, the physical, tangible art of it. That Martin, I guess, would just buy. He bought it and would just throw it like in his drawer, or let his cats or whatever jump on top of it and stuff in his apartment, or have friends use it as a beer coaster.
It was a diamond encrusted case by an artist named Yakia, who is from Northern Africa, and so it's like that big magnanimous looking case. That was like in the Forbes videos or from some of the articles that came out when they were first talking about the project. It's probably, we've seen more of that case than
Yes.
we've seen anything else around.
I haven't seen the case at all.
It's nice. It looks nice. I mean, the funny thing is,
But it's
when
broken?
I spoke with Silva, that's what Martin wrote in the auction. So it's like, of course, if I'm going to buy it, I want to be able to assess. Obviously, it's not worth $2 million. It might not be worth $1 million. I'm willing to pay a fair amount for what you're giving me. And then comes into play the fact that it's like, who's to say there's not extra copies of this record? You have it just chilling in your closet or a cabinet. You have friends over, you have chicks over. You've let it pass through various attorneys' hands. If I was one of those people, a friend, an attorney, whoever's in your crew, I'm definitely going to steal a copy.
Yep.
I'm doing. Who cares? That would be my prerogative, fiduciary duty or not.
Would you put something? I don't like. Is there a way to protect yourself against bootlegging if you do drop this much money on an album?
I think one of the reasons is attorneys haven't been so forthcoming in responding to me since they confirmed, like, yes, you have the finances, yes, here's your offer sheet, is because in my offer sheet I put certain legal bullet points, like I can't be lumped into any pre-existing litigation.
What does that mean? I'm dumb. What does that mean?
It's fine. There was things associated with the album, like a graphic designer who found out when Martin was like showing the internet, here's the the inside of the book. Like, hey, man, those are my illustrations. You didn't compensate me for them, so I'm suing. Or maybe people on the album, like a producer or maybe a rapper here and there, that were like, you said you paid everyone, but I wasn't paid, so therefore, attorneys are reaching out to them to join some kind of suit. Like, if I then take over ownership of this and you're no longer the owner, I don't want to take your place in these suits,
right,
which could happen. So I put all these bullet points in my offer sheet, and I think that kind of scared them. They're like, all right, this guy's just not coming like, hey, I want the album. Here's $1 million. Thanks. Have a good day.
They really thought they were going to get that? I
think they still could get that. The person on eBay that was the highest bidder supposedly is a kid and supposedly is playing with the money of someone that wants to, be, I guess, maintained anonymous, and they're willing just to play that role. Here's the money, give us the project, thanks, and we're going to do whatever we want with it, when I know for me it's so much deeper than that.
Why is it deeper?
I mean, though I have the money to buy it,
yeah,
that's all my money.
Right.
So therefore, if I'm giving something great back to the Wu-Tang fans, the hip-hop culture, I want to at least get mine back. These people sound like they can just buy it to be like, okay, we got it, now here you go, or whatever they're planning on doing with it. I don't know.
Well, see, that's the thing I think is interesting and potentially dicey, because the whole thing about this art project is that it's an art piece. So
yes,
you're commercializing something away from its initial intent
Indeed,
in the first place, off the third-party sale.
Indeed.
But isn't that kind of what they do with art now? Like, you buy art, you invest in it, and then you resell it again. Like, isn't that like why? Isn't art like an investment?
I haven't seen all of the covenants of the contract, but there were stipulations that it could not be resold for a certain period of time. I believe it was 88 years.
88 years.
And so this seems to be negating that initial
He's already breaking that contract.
That's why it was so crucial for me to be able to see the original purchase agreement to figure. I went to law school. I specialized in contracts and IP law and litigation, so on and so forth. I need to see that so I can figure out where the gray areas are. How do I make sure that I can get my money back? How can I make sure the fans are still able to get the record and I'm safe? Because I might have the $1 million to put up to buy the album, but if there's litigation that's going to come my way, I'm not going to have that second $1 million.
All right, let's say everything does go smoothly. And let's say you because it's broken, the case is broken, you end up getting it for $750,000. Do you think you'll be able to make your money back selling the Wu product, and how would you recoup? Because that sounds like a lot of fucking money in a time where no one's buying.
Exactly, and that's why it's such a humongous risk. And I've my whole life, as whether it's a events coordinator or A&R or executive on an album, those are the risks that I've been used to. It's never been to the tune of $750,000 or $1 million, but up to say $250,000. Some shows that we've produced are $1 million risks. So I have 4 or 5 different ideas on how it would be done, and I'm confident that I could do it. Would litigation come from my plans? Perhaps. And then that's the most crucial, consideration of it all.
Are you concerned about, this has been a pretty public negotiation. They've
asked me to not make my correspondence so public. The
attorneys.
Right.
And so,
which I'm doing it again for the people, so I want them to feel involved. I want everyone to rally around this and, know if I do get it, I'm going to need everyone that's really like hyping it up to show me, show and prove with money.
Why wouldn't, if let's say you're a label, someone with a larger budget than you, why wouldn't you just jump into this pool now, considering your plans to commercialize the project?
The record labels have a hard time of looking at things other than the traditional way that they're used to commercializing music. So therefore, it's like, okay, well, if the contract says we can't distribute it in stores physically, if we can't throw it on iTunes or streaming services, so on and so forth, well, it means nothing to us. I'm looking at it from a very non-traditional standpoint of like, I'm going to build a website and you're going to come directly to this site. And so not necessarily like crowdfunding or Kickstarter, stuff like that, but just like I'm controlling the means, I'm controlling the accountings, I'm controlling the disbursement of the record. And in an ideal situation, if I would have been the first one to acquire it, I wouldn't have some of those concerns of maybe there's a possible, this guy made a copy and this guy made a copy, which is a real concern.
I just get with Supreme. I'd be like, buy a T-shirt and get a fucking download in the tag and get it with Supreme, slang $250 shirts all day.
Those are very similar to some of those considerations I have.
Blow it the fuck up,
right?
I mean, yeah, like
free Wu-Tang album with the Supreme brick.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about RZA or Silver Rings and how they might feel? I mean, you work with.
I've talked to Rings, and we had never spoke before. So we talked for about an hour and a half specifically regarding my intention with the album and the creative process. And, he told me to, I already purchased the book. They released a book maybe a month or so ago regarding this whole fiasco behind the album. I've reached out to RZA and a few people in the camp, and I guess he's been moving around between, I guess he had some events in San Francisco and press in LA and stuff regarding the Saga Continues album. So we haven't got to sit down and talk about it, but I'm giving it a couple more days, being that, it's literally been 20 days since I've sent everything that the attorneys and Martin asked me for. And at this time, it just feels like, again, it's a classic Shkreli troll job. Like, yes, he needs the money. He asked for cash, like specifically like bring me a bag of cash. And that's because if your assets are frozen and so on and so forth, cool, I have this hidden bag of cash. No, I wrote in my proposal, and you've seen it, great, you can have the cash, but we have to go to my Chase Bank branch or whatever, we can do it in New York, and you're going to sign off on this receipt that, this cash came from this branch. It's not me just showing up to a meeting in a dark alley with this giant duffel bag. So I was willing to do all the things he asked for. That's why I'm so dumbfounded as to what the lack of response on behalf of the attorneys are.
888-742-3345. Let's go to Terrence in Gary, Indiana. Go ahead, Terrence.
Man, I want to know. You were saying that if you was next to him in the room and he had the CD in the room somewhere hidden, that you would take it.
Fuck yeah.
Like, what benefits is that?
I have a copy.
Like, how can we take it?
And if I have a copy, then you can have a copy.
But I'm just saying, you saying that you would take it.
Yes.
But
I am ruthless,
That's
Terrence.
not what he want done.
What?
That don't make no sense. How you say you for the team, but you not?
Terrence, I'm for Team Wu-Tang, bro. I'm Team Wu-Tang. I'm not Team Martin Shkreli. If I had a chance to take the album and have a copy for myself and then put it on the net or do whatever so you could have a copy, that's a win, bro.
But that's not what you're saying. You're talking about money, though. You ain't saying,
that's different. That's different. If I have to pay for the album, if I have to pay for it, I need to make my money back. If I got it for free, you can have it for free. I don't have to make $1. My bank account still remains the same.
Sense, man. It don't make no sense.
It makes 100% sense to me.
Why are you finding it hard to get to it? He's a Wu-Tang fan. he is willing to pay for the product, but he doesn't want to lose $700,000 or $1 million on the product. But so therefore, he would have to charge to get his fucking money back. But if he could acquire it for free, then you could have it for free as well. I guess is what he's saying.
Yes.
I mean, I got that part, but I'm just saying
that's all of it.
Scenario like it was in a room. It sounded like he's pretty much like anybody else that be trying to seize the moment.
No, man, bro, trust me, my legacy will live far, far beyond and greater than buying this one-of-a-kind record, doggy. October 13th is going to mark my 20th Billboard album. I'm 35 years old. I've accomplished the task of 100 men, collective age 500. So, no, this is just something cool where if it can be done, let's do it by any means necessary. But this is not going to be that thing that defines me.
Let's say you do get it and give it out. Would that cheapen the product? Because this whole debate about this is a $2 million album, and if it's free all of a sudden, does that lower the value in people's eyes?
I think it lowers the value as far as how you approach the artistic integrity of the intangible, the music. The fact is, there's still the one art piece. So if you were to be the one person that has the art piece, the 4 cases, the book, the 2 discs, the certificate of authenticity, the one of a one, that is what would maintain its value. And I think that when RZA was recently asked, that's what's kind of weighing on his head. The music could get out. The one piece still has the integrity, but is it of the same degree as the original sale, his original intention, the original, I guess, feeling of joy knowing that he accomplished the goal he set out to accomplish?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I like the whole message behind the endeavor itself. Like, I'm less interested in this box. I feel like anybody could go make a diamond-crusted Wu logo. But the idea that there's this Wu project that has all the members on it, stuff we've never heard before, and it accomplished this great feat of being looked at as a work of art. That to me means more than, that to me is enough for me not to pine to hear this project. I kind of like the idea of it being out there the way it is.
I'm with you on that. Like if Martin would have never launched the eBay auction, we wouldn't be having this conversation. A lot of people had put this out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Exactly.
I just figured, all right, that's his deal.
And so one of the things I think on a positive note for someone like RZA or Silver Rings is now almost 3 years or maybe over 3 years later, it's still developing. The story continues.
Let's go to Vaughn in Long Island. Go ahead, Vaughn.
Yo, what up? Happy birthday, belated.
Thanks.
Yo, why do you actually care about this album so much? Like, do you disagree that it's not like a bullshit Clabber Rings album where the Wu-Tang members on it were not even allowed to listen to the other verses or the tracks? So when they write their shit, they're not cohesive with the other shit. None of them were in the same room together. Like, it's not a real.
That's not true. That part is not true, actually. Silver Rings had recorded, this for years all over the world. A lot of the recordings were done in Staten Island. A lot when Wu-Tang members were overseas, things of that nature. Because I work with Wu-Tang, I'll tell you this. It doesn't matter how you slice the pie. If RZA says it's official, it's official. He is the Wu-Tang Clan. He is the Abbott. So therefore, it's official. I've worked on various Wu-Tang records. One in particular that was more successful than the last Wu-Tang Clan album. Wu-Tang meets the indie culture. So I know.
If crew members say it's bullshit and it's not official, then why?
What crew members are? Is there pushback? Is there pushback from who?
He's referring to a Bloomberg article where you had Killer Sin, who was a member of Killer Army, Shaheem, that was the youngest of the Wu disciples at the time, James Ellis, who represents Method Man and Redman, U-God from Wu-Tang Clan. So these are these are people that have their initial gripes. Yes.
Did Ghost?
No.
Did Ray?
No.
Did Method Man?
Meth did not recently, but at a time when a journalist had hold on, buddy. At a time when a journalist told him it was a misquote. So Meth was like, well, fuck this project, fuck, the makers, because if we can't hear it, what the hell? Didn't realize that, this was something I was compensated for. And the value of his compensation is not relevant to what we're discussing right now. He was compensated for something, and it's just that, it wouldn't be released publicly.
I hate to sound like a dick,
years.
but if there's a fringe member of like Wu that's not happy with it, I really wouldn't give a fuck. But if it's like
U-God's in the Clan.
Yeah,
You Got It's
is
official.
cool.
I
You Got It's
understand that you got is in the clan. I get that, but did he come out with the purple tape? That's all I'm saying. All right, that's
To get back to what you're saying, bro. I get it, but and if I don't get this record by Friday, trust me, my cares are gonna be non-existent. I tried, I've done everything I can do. I've waited 20 some days for the attorneys to send me an email with paperwork in it. It's not hard. It takes 5 minutes. I get what I get what you're saying. Yeah, there's dissatisfaction. The thing is, people got compensated. RZA, as of right now, if it never gets sold or disseminated again, RZA will be happy with the fact, and Silver Rings will be happy with the fact that it remained, it held its artistic integrity.
Did everybody get paid for the product?
Yes.
So everybody got paid? Was it? Do you know if it was fair? Do you know?
I have no idea
what the cut was like.
Not at all. But it was upfront payments. Like, hey, come record X amount of tracks. Like maybe Ray has 8 verses on it. Maybe Ghost has 6 or something. Like, hey man, here's 30 G's. Whatever it is, it's like everyone acknowledged there was compensation.
John of Cleveland. John.
Drew,
Go ahead, bro.
what's going on? Hey, Nipsey Hussle puts out albums after albums after albums for free, and it's 1,000 times better than what could or could not be on this album.
Well, we don't know.
But he's sitting in the studio trying to make cheese off an album that we don't even know about.
Didn't Nipsey put out $1,000 an album? Didn't
Yes.
Nipsey do
$100 album and $1,000?
Yeah,
album.
Nipsey did
But
similar.
he gave it to you for free. He still gave it to you for free.
You could get it
Even after
digitally for
Jay-Z
free.
bought it.
That's correct.
You
Jay-Z
could get it
bought
digitally
it.
for free.
Right. Okay.
The prize and the artistic integrity of what Nipsey did was you might be only one of 100 people to have this, or one of 1,000 people, and that's art in itself too. And a lot of artists are doing that now. You might be able to, like for instance, when I walked up here, we were playing West Side Gun and Conway. A lot of their vinyls limited 250 pieces, so they sell for $40 a piece. If you weren't one of those 250 people, go on eBay. You can find it for $1,000. It's crazy.
Yeah, look, man. In the day and age where you can have anything, anytime, whenever you like, my cousin had his kids running around on Saturday. I was like, why don't you have them watch Saturday morning cartoons? He said, ain't no Saturday morning cartoons. It's just Cartoon Network. You can have cartoons whenever you want. In the day and age when you have anything you want, whenever you want, there's value in scarcity. And people want to be that one guy out of fucking 250. Be like,
Sure.
look what I got.
Exactly.
And want to wave that shit. That's because that's the only thing of value anymore. Everything's so disposable.
I just wanted to get it so I could take it over to Justin's house and let him touch it.
That is the upside. That is the one upside. The one upside.
Right on, buddy.
Don in Florida. Go ahead, you last one. Don,
Hey, what's going on, man?
you the last one.
It's like, does RZA want you to give it away for free? It's like a Picasso. You just don't get a Picasso and then just give it away. It has to have some value. Have you discussed this with RZA? You say you just want to give
I
it
said
away.
I have
don't
not.
think
I have
that
not
one.
spoken with RZA. But you just got to remember the point, dude. It's what, Tuesday today? These attorneys have till Friday to sell or not sell me this record. If Friday comes and goes and I don't have it, then guess what? The Picasso is still the Picasso.
What do you think?
But
what are the odds?
if I don't get it, someone else can get it. Apparently there's, an eBay buyer. Apparently there's another $1 million person. People think that there's secret parties in the wind. RZA said in an interview on Power 106 the other day, he's considering it. Whether that's true or not, the fact is there's others. It's just not me. So I'm not coming in this to be the bad guy. I'm coming in this to vindicate the fans, if anything.
But see, you're playing devil's advocate. You're trying to play
Sure
devil's
I am.
advocate.
I'm smart.
One minute you want to give it to the fans. 1 minute you want to make money. You want to lose money.
No, buddy. I don't want to make money. I would
Listen,
just, if I had to sell it, if I had to pay money, I'd like to make my money back. So if I set up the site and say I spent $1 million, I would set up a non-for-profit so you could see that this is the amount of money we have to make back, and then it'd be released.
But a true art collector, when he buys a piece, he does not try to make money. If he buys a piece,
Dude, where did you hear me say anything about profit in that?
I don't know about that, dude. A true art collector.
I don't
you
know
don't know.
about
Dude, Jay-Z says on 444, bought this for $2 million. Now it's worth $8 million. Could have
You
bought
don't
this
know.
building. Like, that's all art, bro. Jay-Z is about the money.
Yo,
if
bro,
if I'm buying Picassos and Basquiat's and whatnot, I'm flipping it.
That's dude. I got homies that buy in, like there'll be like 12 people that will buy into a dead guy, and then they buy it like it's real estate, dog. Like, who the fuck told you that people aren't buying art for profit, dog?
That'd be funny. But that, again, my point is, if I got to spend the money, I just want to make the money back. Like the album can be disseminated, the
I don't
site
know.
can get shut down.
Here's-
That makes me feel good. That's better than the money.
Here's
the
the
cred
deal,
that
though,
comes
man.
from that is good money.
them hip hop motherfuckers hate paying for some shit.
Everything.
They love claiming like, oh, keep it real, but they hate paying for real. So good luck.
So I recognize
them give you some
that
money for that, bro.
The hype definitely outweighs the financial gain of it. And when I say gain, I'm not talking about profit. I'm talking about, recouping the investment. Like you got Wu-Tang at one point sold 6-7 million records on a single album. So how come the last album did 100,000 units? Where'd the other 5,000, 900,000 people go? So it's like, I get it. Everyone's screaming, we want it. But it's like, if it came down to show and prove time, who's on the field?
When the rubber hits the road, where's that fucking money at?
Right.
They the first ones to cry about the music ain't real no more. And then when it's time to pay for some real music, it's crickets.
Yes.
And they're getting torrents. I know you motherfuckers. All right, man. Yo, I'm actually going to play some old ass Wu for y'all cats. Back in the simpler days.
Everybody's talking about the good old days, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, the